We are back at it again. It's another week of the Transit Olympics. We are moving this week into the Water Cup Challenge. After the Slippery Sock Challenge last week, we have our contestants back at it again. 7th grade, it is all on you. It is win or nothing now. 6th grades can almost steal gold from 8th grade, who has dominated the last couple of weeks. We're excited. Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. As you notice with the Water Cup Challenge, you will be placing a water cup on your forehead and you will be standing up. You can use your hands on the ground, but obviously there's some water in the water cup and you don't want to spill that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready. On my count, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Who is going to stand up first? Oh, big 7th grade Scott is off to a flyer. We already have spillage and she's heading back to the refill station. Right now we have 6th grade looking incredibly balanced. No hands, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, we've got a mess everywhere. 6th grade's down. Once again, 8th grade. 8th grade, can't believe it. Hey, no, you're out. Come back. Refill. He is so mad. Who's going to get it? 6th grade at the steal. No. Everyone's back in it. You're fine. Sammer has to get that cup. If you are so good, 8th grade, show me you can do it again. He pulled the cup down way too quick. It's a race right now between 7th grade and 8th grade. Sammer can take this. Congratulations, 8th grade. It is gold medal. 1, 2, 3-time Transit Olympic touts.
Transit! What's up, y'all? My name is Julius. I go by Jew. For those of you who don't know me, that's J-U, not J-E-W. But anyways, I'm here on today and part of this 3rd week of the series that we've been in. And it's been a great series for me for this season, just kind of everything that's going on. And I really hope that's been a great season for you as well. So I'm excited to be here to talk to you guys today. But I'm also excited not just because of the series that we're in. I'm excited because of, kind of this time frame and just where we are right now. School is over right now. We're, in the summer month of June, and we're just kind of able to get out a little more and do some things. For a while, we were just kind of locked in the 4 walls of our houses. Like we couldn't do anything. Sports were shut down. School was shut down. Movie theaters, restaurants, you name it. It's almost like everything that we love to do was just kind of at a standstill, at a pause. And the only thing that we could do was just be home with our families or the people that was around us. And, got a little stir crazy after a while. So I'm excited and I'm happy that, stuff has lifted a little bit and we're able to do some things. We're still not doing everything, but able to do some things and get back to, I guess, maybe some semblance or whatever you will of normalcy or a new normal. You know what I mean? So that has made me happy. And I can imagine that for some of you, you're happy and you're even excited for just being able to maybe go out and get something to eat or order out to eat or just go out and maybe see some friends in the neighborhood or whatever that looks like. Just I can imagine, again, that you are happy and excited just like I am. Because, again, when this thing first started, we couldn't do any of that. And at first we were trying to get all this information and figure out, hey, what does this mean? And okay, what's going on? And how do we deal with this? And stuff is shutting down. And we were just, trying to figure it out. And after that, it was kind of like, okay, this is different. And we at home with our families. And hey, this is a little something we didn't used to do. Maybe that was eating breakfast together or eating lunch together or just kind of being in the house. So it was kind of fun. And hey, let's play some family games and just enjoy each other's time. So for us, it was really cool for a moment. But that shifted kind of really quick, I would say. And I can imagine for you, it probably shifted kind of fast as well. And then it went from, kind of what's going on, what's going to happen to, hey, this is fun to, hey, I'm just over it. Like, for real, I'm done. I'm over it. I'm tired of being stuck in the house with the same old people, doing the same things, seeing the same things. Like, I'm just over it. And what was fun, what was exciting, what was different turned into this boring, normal thing. And even maybe what was fun turned into kind of chaos. It turned into conflict. It turned into arguments. It turned into just tense situations. Just being in the same place with people all the time. that can kind of do that to us. So some of us is like, yo, I just want to finish my eggs before we get to arguing. It's like, nope, I'm on it. Breakfast time, let's get to arguing. Let's get to fighting. Let's get to doing all of that. So for a lot of us, being able to go out and do different things now, it's like, yo, I just want to get away from home. Like, I just want to get away from my family. I need to get away from just doing the same things. I'm tired of arguing about the same old things. Can I play the games more often? Can I have more screen time? Oh, they got to choose dinner last night. Can I choose what we're eating? Can I choose what we're doing? Can I choose the game that we're playing? Can you stop breathing so loud? Can you stop chewing like that? Like, you just got tired of arguing with everybody and being in these conflicts or in these tense moments and situations. Or maybe it wasn't light situations. Maybe there were serious fights. Maybe there were serious arguments of being just, again, in the home and in the same place with people over and over and over again. So we all got to these points, if you guys are anything like me or your families are anything like mine, where you're just arguing again and you're just fighting over the littlest things, but you're making the biggest moments out of them, or you're making kind of these big things, these little things big and outrageous. And everybody's coming in like, oh, she did this, he did that, they did this, and I didn't do that. And coming to the point where, you know what, we're all coming in with this perspective or this viewpoint of feeling like I'm right. You know what I mean? They keep doing this and they keep doing that. The reason that we're arguing is because everybody else is doing this and he's doing that and she's doing that. You know what I mean? But when I'm walking in, I know it's not me. I'm right. And some of you have felt that same way. You're walking into these moments, but you're like, I'm right. The way I felt, what I said, what I did, I'm right. And if I'm right, that means you're wrong, right? The way you feel, the way you see it, what you said and all of that, you're wrong and I am right. And that's how we walk into these situations. That's why we get into these arguments or these conflicts or these fights, because everybody's walking in feeling like I'm right and I'm going to argue my point. I'm going to prove my point to everybody sees it. I'm right and you're wrong. And that's a big problem. That's a huge reason why we're in these conflicts and why we're in these arguments in the first place. Because we all feel like the way that I see it is the only way to see it. The way that I see the situation, the way that I see whatever's going on, that's the only way to see it. So if you can't see it the way that I see it, then there's something wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with me, right? Like, I know that's how I feel when I walk into conflicts or when I'm thinking about the arguments I've been in. Like, yo, there's something wrong with you if you don't see it the way I see it, because the way I see it is right. So when I'm thinking about anything that's any kind of tension or any kind of argument or fight or conflict, whatever you want to call it, when I'm thinking about that, I'm always thinking about and maybe pointing a finger at everybody else, because it's easy to do that. It's easy for me to point the finger to everybody else or at everybody else, because if I continue to do that, then I'm saying to myself and I'm saying to everybody else, yo, it's not my fault. Like, it's nothing I did. They did it. He did it. She did it. What they said, how they approached it, all that. It's not my fault. And the reason that we're always kind of taking that approach of it's not my fault, because it's easier to do that when you're saying it's not my fault. You don't have to do anything else. You know what I mean? When you put it on somebody else, you can't control them. So it's easy to be like, yo, it's not my fault. They did this and they did that and they said this and they said that. It's not my fault. But I want to ask the question, what if it is? What if it is your fault? I know some of y'all right there are lost. You like, hold up, Drew. What you mean it's my fault? Man, I didn't do nothing. It is them. They always did that. Let me rephrase that then. What if you have a bigger part to play in the argument? What if you have a bigger part to play in that conflict, in that tension that's going on within your home right now? What if you really do have a bigger part to play? The way you approach it, how you said what you said, how you acted when somebody said something, how you reacted. What if you really have a bigger part to play? Like, what does that mean? What does that look like? I truly believe you and I have a much bigger part to play than we give off. A much bigger part to play than we really kind of say that we do. And see, I love it. The scripture I'm going to talk about today, Jesus, he talks about kind of this very thing, and especially kind of the walking into a situation of the way I see it is the only way to see it. And if you don't see it how I see it, then you're wrong and I'm right. I feel like Jesus dispels that when he was talking to his disciples and a group of people that was following him kind of in that day. And when he talked about this, how he made a comparison between two things that we're going to read about, for me, some people think it's extra. I think it's incredible. I think it's incredible what he said to the disciples and to the people that were following him that stuck with them then, and that can very well and very much speak to you and me right now. It's a scripture I want to read. It's in Matthew chapter 7. And it reads this. It says, "Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? How can you say to your brother, 'Let me take the speck out of your eye,' when all the time there's a plank in your own eye? You hypocrite. First take the plank out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. First take the plank out of your own eye, then you can see to remove the speck out of your brother's eye." Now, again, some people think, oh man, this is extra. You're talking about, a piece of dust and a plank and all that. No, I love it because, like, seriously, I can do this right here and do that. And that's a speck of dust. You can't see that. Don't even tell me you can see it. I know you lying because I can't see it when I did it. But that right there is a speck of dust. And he compares that to, hey, how do we always look at everybody else and the little things that they maybe bring to the situations, and we talk about them and they and him and her, but we don't pay attention to the plank in our own eye, which is more so like this. How am I walking into a situation saying the way I see it is the only way to see it? And if you don't see it the way that I see it, then you're wrong. I can't see anything with this in my face. How can I talk about the little thing that you're doing, that little speck, and I have this big plank over my eyes? And I feel like that's what Jesus was saying to them. And that's what he's saying to you and I. Like, first remove that, put that down out of your eye, and then you can help to look at or help your brother with the speck that's in their eye. Like, look at the thing that you are bringing to the situation, that you are bringing to the conflict, that you are bringing to the argument. Because you are a part of every conflict, of every argument, and every fight that you're in. Like, you and I are walking around, we're not getting along with our father, we're not getting along with our mother, our brothers or sisters, aunts and uncles, whatever. And then we walking around talking about it's them, it's they, it's all that they're doing. And there's one part of that remains the same, and it's you. So what part was your fault? Like, what part of the argument, what part of the conflict is your fault? That's one thing I had to ask myself. Reading this story, taking it personal, like, okay, what part of this is my fault? What part of this is my fault? Yeah, I can go off blaming everybody else for everything that is happening, but what part is my fault? And I'm saying that I want you to ask yourself that. In whatever conflict, whatever tension, whatever argument is going on within your home, what part is your fault? Because I can guarantee you whatever tension and whatever chaos or whatever is going on within your home with you and your siblings or you and your parents, you and I can help to ease that tension. And it's simple, to be honest. Now, I'm not saying that it's easy. It's hard, but it's simple. I'm saying it's hard because it's hard for us to look at ourselves. It's hard for us to see that, hey, I'm the one that needs to change something. I'm the one that needs to do something. But it's simple for you and I to take the approach of, hey, let me look at myself before I blame someone else. Like, that's simple. If I can just think through that every single time I'm walking into a situation, hey, let me look at myself before I blame someone else. See, I know there's a lot of things that are out of your control. I get that. Truly, I do. And I'm not asking you to control what's out of your control. What I'm asking you to do is to control you. To be honest, the only person that you can control is you. But the good news is that's the only person you need to control. It's you. Once you and I can say, what's my part to play? What was my part to bring? How can I look at myself before I blame everybody else? Once we start to own that and change our approach, our tone, our attitude, how we're acting, how we're talking, that's when the relationships can change. That's when the arguments can die down. That's when the conflicts can stop. When we begin to own our part, everything can change. So like Jesus said, don't be a hypocrite. Like, don't be that guy, that girl that's always walking around blaming everybody else and not looking at the wrong that you're doing or the part that you're playing. Remove the plank from your own eye Address what you're bringing to the table. I promise you, once we begin to do that, everything can change.